Hello! Welcome back to BAPCH IGNOU. We are your go-to channel for all things in IGNOU BA Psychology Honors. So whether you're embarking on a brand new journey with IGNOU, in need of some last-minute exam prep, or just seeking some clarity on those tricky topics, you are in the right place. Welcome back to another episode. Today we are simplifying the second unit, Assessment of Personality. And if you're joining us for the very first time, I welcome you again. Thank you for joining in. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't lose us in the never-ending feed of YouTube videos. So in our last unit, we talked about what makes us who we are, our personality. This time, we are discussing how we figure out what our personality is like. Understanding our personality is important because it affects how we act, how we get along with others, and how we handle life stuff. So by knowing our personality better, we can work on making positive changes to be better versions of ourselves, right? There are different ways to figure out someone's personality. Some people look at specific traits, like whether someone is outgoing or shy. Others might use techniques like asking them to interpret pictures or observing them how they behave in different situations. But why? Why do we need to know? Well, knowing more about our personality can help us in lots of areas, like understanding ourselves better, improving how we relate to others, and even choosing the right career path. So in this unit, we will understand what personality assessment is all about, talk about the different methods we can use, and also touch on the important ethical stuff that we need to keep in mind when we are figuring out someone's personality. You ready? Let's begin. Okay, so let's start with the concept. Think about when you hear people, making assumptions about others based on things like the color of their eyes or the way they dress. Okay? So you have probably heard things like people with blue eyes are smarter, people with brown eyes are clever, or wearing glasses means you are nerdy or studious. Well, these ideas aren't backed up by science. They are just myth. Okay? So how do we really understand someone's personality and behavior? So there is where psychological assessment comes in. It's like a structured way of figuring out what makes people tick. Okay, so psychologists use it to measure different aspects of how people think, feel, and behave. Well, why is it this important? Well, it helps us describe, explain, and even predict how people will act in different situations. Plus, it's useful for things like making decisions, providing guidance, and counseling. So, psychological assessment has some key principles. First off, it's comprehensive, meaning it looks at all the important stuff in a person's life, considering their cultural background too. It's also systematic, following a step-by-step process to make sure we're assessing the right things in the right way. And here's the thing, it's not a one-time deal, okay? Assessments, they need to be ongoing because people change over time, right? They also need to be accurate, reliable, and confidential, meaning we are getting the right information and then keeping it private. Yeah. Now let's talk about the psychological tests. These are like standardized quizzes that measure specific aspects of someone's behavior or personality. They are objective, meaning they are the same for everyone and scored in a consistent way. So this helps psychologists get clear and reliable results. But remember, psychological assessment is bigger than these tests. Okay? Here, it includes a lot of methods like surveys, observations, interviews, and even looking at someone's history and background. So all of this helps psychologists get a complete picture of a person and understand them better. So in a nutshell, we can say Psychological assessment is all about figuring out what makes people who they are and then helping them along the way. Okay. Now let's understand the properties of a good test. Imagine you are baking cookies. Okay, so to make sure that they turn out just right every time, you need a good recipe and the right tools. So psychological tests are like those tools. But instead of baking, they help us understand people better. Okay, so now what makes a good test? Here are the key ingredients. First, standardization. This means everyone taking the test gets the same instruction and scoring. Just like how every batch of cookie follows the same recipe, standardization ensures consistency in how the test is given and scored no matter who is doing it. The second is norms. Think of norms as a reference point. So they are scores from a group of people who took the test first. These scores show what's considered high, low or average performance. Later, when someone else takes the test, their scores are compared to those norms to see how they stack up. Okay. The third is reliability. Have you ever made cookies that turned out different every single time? Or maybe tea? So that's not what we want with test. Reliability is about consistency. A reliable test gives the same result when taken multiple times by the same person. So we don't want someone getting a different score just because they took the test on a different day. Maybe it was Monday and you were sad and Friday you were super happy. We want the result to be consistent despite the days. So number 4, we have validity. So this is about whether the test actually measures what it's supposed to do. Just like you'd want a cookie recipe to make cookies, not cakes, you want a test to measure what it claims to measure. There are different types of validity, like content validity, which checks if the test covers all the important stuff it's meant to. Okay, so in summary, a good test is like a well-tested recipe. It's standardized, based on norms, reliable, and measures what it says it does. And if you want to dive deeper into all how this works, you will learn more about reliability and validity in your later studies. Okay. Now let's understand the ethics of psychological assessment. Psychological assessment requires some ethical guidelines to be followed that are aimed at guarding the rights of clients or respondents. APA, American Psychological Association, has put the following guidelines which needs to be observed by the psychologists or researchers. Let's look at those. Number 1, qualified professionals. So just like you'd want a trained doctor to read your medical reports, psychological assessment should be done by trained psychologists. They are the experts who know how to handle these tests properly. The second is proper timing and understanding. So psychologists need to be trained in the test they use. They should understand how the tests work, how to administer them, and how to interpret the results. Plus, they should pick the right test based on the factors like age and purpose. Number 3, we have informed consent. So before giving any tests, psychologists need to explain to the person being tested what the test is for and get their permission to do it. This is called informed consent. People have the right to know why they are being tested and they should agree to it. On number 4, we have confidentiality. So test results are private. Psychologists should keep them confidential and only share them with the person being tested, unless there's a serious risk to their life or others. Okay. And number 5, we have unbiased reporting. So psychologists should present test results honestly and without bias. They need to report findings accurately without letting their own opinion or feeling influence what they say. Number 6, respecting privacy. Again, psychologists must respect the privacy of the person being tested. They can't share the test result without permission, except in the rare cases where someone's safety is at risk. Number 7, consider cultural backgrounds. So different people might approach tests differently based on their culture or background. So psychologists need to be aware of this and consider how it might affect the test result. Now let's understand the uses of personality assessment. So personality assessment is like getting to know yourself better. It's important because our personality affects almost everything we do in our life. First one, in school and education. So personality can impact how well we do in school. For example, being agreeable can affect academic success. Personality trait also plays a great role in bullying behavior. So assessing personality can help identify potential bullies early on and prevent this bullying. Okay. The second one is career decision. So different career needs different personality traits. For instance, being patient and caring is important for a teacher, while being decisive and organized is a key for a manager. Okay, so here, knowing your personality can help you choose a career that suits you the best. Third, it's in clinical settings. Again, personality tests help diagnose personality disorders and guide counseling. Certain personality types like type A are linked to health issues like heart problems. So understanding your personality can help you adopt healthier habits. Number 4 is for health and well-being. Personality affects our health behavior. For example, being extroverted is linked to healthier lifestyles. So knowing your personality can help you make better health choices. Number 5 is in the workplaces. So personality impacts how we work with others. Traits like leadership skills and emotional management are crucial for success. Employees use personality assessment to understand how employees work together and perform on the job. Number 6 is the other fields. So personality assessment is also used in sports and military settings. Certain jobs require specific traits like discipline and adaptability. Overall, personality assessment is important because our personality influences everything we do. It helps us understand ourselves better and navigate life more effectively. Alright, that's the end of this video. We'll be back with the second part, methods used to assess personality. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, and if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button. For quick updates, follow us on Instagram and join our active discussion on Telegram. You'll find all the links in the description below. So see you tomorrow in the second part.